Hello to anybody joining me. I'm just setting up my overhead shot, making sure I've got it all zoomed how I want it, lined up how I want it, so I can start recording the progress. It's looking good. Just turning on some lighting for you guys. You can actually see whenever you arrive. So unfortunately, my laptop has taken quite a few spills, and the fan is kind of loud, which I'm apologizing now for. I've got day one is very simple. It is just a little gemstone that last year I wasn't feeling the creativity pretty much any day. And it hit me maybe the day before the event started, but because I was one of the support people, I figured, I was like, well shit, I gotta do something. Gotta put something out there so that people realize they don't have to be perfect, they just have to do something. I'm feeling it. Sometimes it's good to have that reminder. Oh man, my nails are fucked up. My fingertips are so dry, even with using lotion. So, what I've got to do to start off the stream is actually going to involve testing my pens because I can't find my Micron. Have some water in the big old drinking jug again. Because I don't want to accidentally drink my paint water. It's a very vital concern. I put ultra low latency on, but it appears today's stream is going to have a 10-second delay, which drives me kind of batty, especially since it's claiming I have an excellent connection, which is one of the things I was worried about when I set this up. Guess when I went live, I lost the ability to change latency. Sorry, guys. I've got here. Oh, I only woke up a little bit ago. I lucked out. My phone died, and I still woke up 10 minutes before the alarm would have gone off if the phone wasn't dead. Alright. So, I'm going to do a very... this scrap will work. If I can liberate it. Tearing apart the back of the book. So I just got this a doodly piece of paper. And I've got 2 types of pens, a hoo-hoo and Heathrown. And I'm going to need the 05 for both of them. And we'll see how it does. So we have the Heathrown and the hoo-hoo. Ho! Give them a few seconds to dry. And then what I'm going to do is a very simple water test to see how they handle the paint going across them. It looks like the Heathrow is the one that I'm going to want to use. The hoo-hoo doesn't seem to have as much of a water fast to it, which is very good to know if I wanted to use them for anything art related. Oh. The camera is not up to speed with me, so I've got to swap back over to Streamlabs tab. Let's see if I can get this where you guys can see it. Too close. Yeah. You can't really see it, I'm sorry. But the O has ink smear, whereas the H does not. So, yeah, I kept saying Heathrown. It may be Heathrown. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of prattle for 3 more minutes until it's been 15 minutes. If anybody's gonna show up, they'll be here. Get started on the painting. I've got this little gold one. The one I'm using is number 904, and it is from the Starry Colors, which is Kuratak. You can't really, okay. So, Kuretake. I'm using tray number 904 for the gold on this painting. It is a watercolor. Unfortunately, it is very hard to get true gouache in metallics. They're very, very expensive. But if you get watercolor and just keep it thicker so it's more opaque, it works just fine, and you can find it for half the price. Oh, I was thinking about using the blues I've previously mixed up here, which is a more vibrant blue, like on YouTube where it says learn more, similar to that blue. And then we have the dot, not a drop, but a dot of black and a drop of white to give me the 3, like the darker, lighter primary. Ooh, I have dried blue on my white paint. But the other option is to pick one of the blues, that's black, and then the 3 whites that I own, but to pick one of my blues and just add a little bit of variation to it from there, because the gemstone itself, the image I'm working with, is very, it's not subtle, it's just very basic. It's in the background of the video thumbnail. Right, I have zoomed in on this. Freaking light bar. This is what I started with. Super, super simple. No real variation in color. Not in any of them. Right. None of the gemstones have any, like, oh, look at this shading, look at this extra details. So technically I can just go with the blue. I can just pick one of these blues and then pick the gold. I really, really, really wanted to do the keep it simple. And it looks like it worked. Because it is very simple. Alright. Oh, there are nobody's here chatting to myself. That's fine. Honest to God, it is fine. I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to mute myself, turn on my music, and I will chat whenever people show up. Get all this stuff to the side. And it is time to art. My apologies for the weeble wobbles. My art desk is a drafting table, one of those tilting things, so it has very, very poor stability. The liquid I just used the eyedropper to put in here is water mixed with a bit of agar gum. My brain is having one of those moments. Gum Arabic. So that stuff right there. Gum Arabic. The lights really don't want to work with me, so yeah, I put a little bit of this stuff. I've had this since 1995, maybe 96. Still going strong. I keep a mix of it in here with an eyedropper. Now I'm going to just get that mixed over here with the paint. I let it sit for a little bit so that the paint can naturally soften into it. And just stirring. When I'm doing this trial stuff, I like to keep it runny. I very much have the scarcity mindset when it comes to my art supplies. Most of the products that I'm using, most of the paints and the gum Arabic, even that container, are all things that I've had since the mid-90s. And I'm still using strong. Quite a few of these are, the stuff that's not from the 90s is from the early 2000s when I began in the SCA and got coaxed into doing the artwork. I like how this liquid is going. I got coaxed into the SCA by a friend who knew that I really liked wearing costumes. And he wasn't wrong. But he also abandoned me to the SCA, as in, sure, I introduced it to you, but now that people like you, I don't want to do anything with you. You know, one of those people? And couldn't really be surprised. The good thing is that I have never been afraid to just go and do shit on my own. Where I think the majority of movies that I saw in my teen years were just me going to the theater. Usually for the matinees, because they were cheaper. And had less people. It's always a bonus. Less people is always a bonus when it comes to going out and so into the, not socializing, because then less people isn't good, but going out into the world to get some form of entertainment. It's nice to not also have to have conversations while you're trying to focus on something like the movie. And I'm sure we all know somebody who likes to talk through the movie. And if you don't know somebody that does it, it's you and you're a dick. It's just how it goes. Yeah. You can see just how easy this is to just do, essentially. Yeah, so back to when I started doing this. I had shown up to a dance practice because I wanted to get to know people more local to me. And that is where I ended up making friends with people who did the charter illumination or award painting, depending who you're talking to about it. And from there, it grew into, oh, you need stuff done? Get a hold of her. You need to make some repairs on the painting? Something went a little too far, but it's only one mistake. Hi, kitten. Hello. Hi, Titty Bip. Welcome home. Yeah, glad you're safe, boo. Okay. Either way. Okay, I'm going to let this layer dry. And I'm going to give some kitty love. Hi, baby boo. Okay, as you can see, I went a little too thin on the color. Luckily, this blue is one I have quite a lot of, because let me come back through. All the extra lights are kind of screwing with how I see this. So even though I think it looks okay, when I look at it outside of the lights in my face, it's just kind of like, oh, well, shit, that needs color, that needs thickening, that needs blending out. It's all true, kitten. And unfortunately, yeah, I might need to let the paint thicken up some more. No, baby girl, oh my god, you're crazy, boo. I got wet paint over here. Hi, you want to sniff? Yeah. Hold on, babes. Yes, I'll be... Oh my god, it's a kitten. Kitty on patrol. Hi, baby. Yeah. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Madame Fuzzy Bottom. Oh, this is not kitty water. Hi. Can I help you? Oh, my love. Love you, Panda Bear. As I was saying to you about repairs, we would get charters that other people had done where, let's say, the paint went too far beyond the black line, or you could tell they'd spilled and tried to clean it up, but we didn't want their work to go to waste. So we would just take the time and tidy them up and get rid of the paint splotches. So that was essentially outside of water bearing, which is providing hydration to the people doing the fighting, either rapier or heavy armored. I think they call it light armor and heavy armor is how they refer to it now. We would, outside of being the water bearer or the list lady, helping keep track of who won what fights, that stuff, doing the charters is what was my thing. I still did dancing, got into embroidery, but always come back to the painting, which is kind of amusing because I never really painted when I was in my youth or in my teens. Didn't do any of that stuff. Alright, again, gonna let this dry. Gonna go snuggle the panda. what I'm trying to do with these little brush taps is break up some of the clear brush strokes from that first and second layer. Again, I made the paint much too thin, so kind of like, hey, check this out, you shouldn't do it. I think for next week I'm really gonna have to figure out how to have this up with lights that you guys can see that don't screw with my brain because of the reflection of light on the paint. Because I swear it looked good until I looked up at the camera and was like, what the hell? Oh, the panda went back outside. She's the baby girl. Legitimately, this is a great way to start because of the fact that I am a I could have been done this in 20 minutes, but I'm dragging it out. So if there's anybody who can't be here until later, they have something to watch. Oh. Yeah, I've got as next up is going to be the little gold. Oh, I am a big yawning mess. Tag, you're it. This mouse clicks so loud. Yeah. Again, it's not perfect, but the strokes look better. Also, with this type of paper that I'm using, when doing charters for the SCA, you're more likely to have the smoother surface to be working on. This is legitimate watercolor paper and therefore has texture. So when the paint is on it, you can see the texture quite clearly. I'm going to swap over to little gold boy. Go back to my water and gum Arabic. Don't need a whole lot of it because I'm only doing the border. Get my brush good and clean. Don't want any blue on it to transfer around. And then just gonna mix it, mix it, mix it. Again, this is watercolor instead of gouache. Oh yeah, and if you are getting gouache, make sure it is not acrylic gouache. That is essentially just acrylics that you can activate with water. Whereas gouache is a legitimate water-based paint, like a water-activated paint that I'm not sure of the specifics. I just know that it is. I think Panda just come home. That. Oh my God! Did I just hear meow? It is a baby girl. Hello. Gouache isn't just more of a historical item, from what I've been told, than watercolor. It has more durability and manipulability, I think. I don't even really know why it has to be gouache when you're doing SCA charters and not watercolor, but they're very, very adamant about it has to be this. It has to be gouache. So that's what I got. I am going to go give some snuggles. Hopefully in that time, we'll see some peeps. Treats have been administered, and I am back. As I get older, the person whose mistakes I'm fixing more often are my own. The shaky hand is a very real thing about age. Don't have to have Parkinson's to have the unstable. It just happens. And unfortunately, even if I'd used the tiny brush, which is my usual, I would still be overpainting. And it's partially because I'm also a lot more impatient and just want to get things done. Like, this is me trying to be patient and not rushing, because like I said, there may be people who'd come later, and I want to still be around when they get here. Looks like I got it all. Clean the brush again. This aside. It is a good idea. So I dig it out. My belly gets caught on the. That's where my boobs got caught. To have paper towel, not just for the brush, but in case there's any oopses and spills. I've got, let's see, I probably just make this a 1 hour stream. Nothing in the world says it has to be 2. Sorry, but now using the side of the pen. This is normally something you would do when doing the cleanup, as opposed to while the material is possibly still wet. Again, I'm impatient. I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to wrap it up, go spend time with Panda, start the chili that I've got the meat thawed for finally. I forgot to take it out last night. Getting these black lines. As you can tell, I'm not going in any order. It's just when my brain goes, oh look, there's that line. Turn off this light and see if that helps. Ah, I can see much better now. I can come through and make it pretty. Essentially, if you're doing a SCA charter, this is one of those key steps to cleaning it up once you're done. Taking a 05 or a 04 pen and redrawing all those lines so that the black, I keep bumping that with my head towel, so that the black edges make it look cleaner. So, luckily, because I used the darker paint, it doesn't matter too much if I accidentally go too far into the dark blue. But what can be a pain in the butt is, as you might be able to see, you probably can't see, black on top of gold paint doesn't like to do what it's supposed to do, which is stand on top of the gold paint. So it might take a few layers, but there we have it. That is day one. We've got gem for day one. Very, very simple, super easy. Should not be intimidating to anybody who wants to get into this type of stuff for themselves. So, this might seem a little ridiculous, but it'll be next week when I finally go over to number 2, which you can't really see, but number 2 is heraldry. Oh, I can't remember what picture I did, but luckily they're all saved on my tablet. There you have it. Day 1, painted and done. You can see the shiny, shiny gold. Just a very simple gemstone. I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.